Ms. Raymond. Members will now be recognized in order of seniority for 5 minutes of questioning, and we may elect to do an additional round of questioning. I now recognize myself for 5 minutes of questioning. And I appreciate hearing from everyone, especially hearing about free speech. And Ms. Raymond, your comments are, you're absolutely right that we have to protect free speech, that we have to be able to express views, in no matter whether we agree with them or not, and then acknowledge that there's a line. So what I want to ask, because it was mentioned by Mr. Siegel, is, so Mr. Siegel, I'll start with you. When somebody at a protest says free Palestine, how does the Jewish community receive that?
Context is always the key with any slogan, and that includes chants of free Palestine. I think, in many protests, if some in the community hear that, they don't really think twice about it. But I think if free Palestine is used to write graffiti on a sukkah or a Jewish institution, that's a very different context.
Is that a call to violence?
Free Palestine inherently is not calling for violence on its own, but if it's being yelled at when somebody's trying to burn people alive, you could bet it is.
Okay, do Jewish students in a rally that seems to be heating up in a way that is trending towards what could be physical violence, when somebody screams free Palestine with a Palestinian flag, is that received by Jewish students on universities as a rally cry for violence?
Yeah, I mean, even thought amongst Jewish students is not monolithic. I think different students may take it in a different way. I think what is important to focus on is when those types of sentiments or slogans are used when targeting specifically Jewish students or other individuals elsewhere. That's the context that is really troubling about that.
Dr. Carafano, what is, in your opinion, a rally or a free Palestine cry at a protest mean to the Jewish community?
Right. So I agree that context is everything, and I think one of the things that we focus on is it is a difference. I think if you are a U.S. citizen in a context of exercising your legitimate free speech, and in the sense if you are here on a visa as a student or as a professional, and you are promoting extremist ideas in the United States, you're a guest of the United States. In the U.S., it's very clear under U.S. legal authority that if you violate the terms of your stay in the United States, you should be removed from the United States. If you want to come to the United States and you have a track record of extremist violent statements that the U.S. government thinks disqualifies you from entering the United States, you should be denied entry to the United States. I do think that those are really important distinctions.
And there's legislation that I am sponsoring and many others are supporting that gets at the heart of the overstay of those visas, especially those that would perpetrate those attacks. And Mr. Sleeper, when you think about the terrorist in the Boulder, Colorado event, what was this person's mindset? How did they become radicalized? How did they get to the position where they are espousing these foreign terrorist organization ideals and this viewpoint of anti-Semitic and violent action?
Thank you, sir. The commonality amongst all three events were that the perpetrators condoned their actions in the name of Gaza. They had all been consuming the same material, the same information. When you have three events, violent events, targeting the Jewish community within 8 weeks, and all three offenders say the same thing, use the same terminology, it's clear that there is a consistent message being conveyed, and that message is targeting the Jewish community, and it's being conveyed by everywhere from foreign terrorist organizations to nation-state actors like Iran. Their goal is to do whatever they can do to incite violence against the Jewish community.
Thank you. Ms. Raymond, should those on a visa studying at a university, participating in some sort of protest, so not American citizens, but those on a visa, should they be allowed to burn an American flag at a university?
I want to start off by saying,
And scream Free Palestine?
yes, I want to start off by saying that to be in America as a resident, as a student, is a privilege. It is not a right. And for those who are not upholding our values or threatening the safety and security of Americans, there needs to be some process for consideration of removal. Burning an American flag, shouting Free Palestine are elements of that freedom of speech. And there are, as has been discussed before, a great many interpretations of what that means, of what those types of messages mean, right? For many who would say, for example, from the river to the sea, right? They're seeing that ignorantly as a synonymous for Free Palestine, right? But if you look at where the river is and where the sea is, and if in fact what they mean when they say that is that it is only for Palestinians and not for Jews, that's a very different message.
Thank you, and I'll come back to you. My time has expired, and I'll give you I'll yield to the ranking member, and also if you need an extra minute, we can do that.
Appreciate it.